once again, and welcome to Birch Grove Studios. I'm Dennis McKenzie. I'm making a series of videos to help my students remember what the little projects are that I suggest that they learn how to make. Because making pottery, they get tired of making bowls, they need suggestions of things to make, and I have a small, I'm on 4 or 5 different, 6 different types of items that can be made with just a few pounds or less of clay that they can easily handle. But each of these little projects teach different things, and I'm going to video each of them, and some might be a little longer and some might be a little shorter. But I'm going to be throwing the projects off the hump. It's a production technique. It's a technique I like to use for throwing lots of small things, particularly if I'm throwing lots of things in a row, like mugs or spoon rests. In fact, the spoon rest is going to be the first thing we're going to do. I was just seeing if I had a sample of one around here. I don't seem to, but anyway, I'm going to throw this clay on the wheel, in the center of the wheel. Always helps to get it somewhat centered. There you go. Anyway, put the clay on the wheel, and so you're going to sort of be centering. You just, throwing off the hump, you don't have to center the whole piece of clay. You only need to center a bit up here. So what I'm doing is just pushing in, bringing some of this clay up. You can use about a pound of clay or less to make this particular item. And then I'm pushing the clay back down again with my hands, so that in like that. And using that centering technique, we pretty much have it there like that. And so we're ready to make the actual object, or the spoon rest. Okay, I got this down to a nice small amount of clay here on the top. I'm only going to be using about maybe this much. So what I usually do with making these things is I use my thumb, I push straight down, and this is when I'm in a production mode for making these, and then I pull it out in one motion like this with my thumb, and I've created a small bowl. What I like about throwing off the hump is you can squeeze underneath it like this, and then you take your hands using a C-grip and sort of get a little wetter underneath there, and take your fingers like this and just sort of, with the C-grip, throw it into a bowl, a very shallow bowl. I'll bring it up here, make a little lip. I know you're probably sick of making bowls, but this teaches a number of things. It teaches you how to make a spout. Since this is a spoon rest, we're going to be putting a lip on this, and this is the same way you would make a lip for a pitcher or anything else. So I take this edge using the C-grip, bending it out. I think we could get a little bit bigger than that, so pull it out a little bit more, bending out the lip, holding everything. It's very important to hold all the edges. Right here with my thumb like this, my C-grip underneath here, stopping this part here from bending out any farther, and holding the whole thing when I turn it over like that. Because if you're not holding it everywhere, it'll go where it wants to go, which isn't always where you want it to go. So then I'll make a decorative mark many times here along the ring. Sort of helps complete the form. Seem to be low on sponges. Sponge the excess water out of the bottom, and then stop the wheel, and then reach across with your left hand and lift up the 2 edges like that, about that far apart. Then take your right finger and just stroke the clay back and forth very gently, not pushing down hard. And that's how you make a spout. And I turn it on its side here a little bit, take a look at it, because the thumb is a little bit bigger than the finger in making these things. I sort of even it out, and that's about right. And so now you have a spoon rest. Okay, from this point of view, you can see what it looks like. It's just a small ball with a decorative lip and the pitcher part, or the lip, for the spoon to rest on it. One of the things I like about throwing this particular form off the hump is that it's so easy to get off the wheel, and it's easy to reach underneath the paw and pull it out. Something like that. Cut it with a stick. Cut it off with your wire, fish line. We use fish line here. Lift it up with your fingers or lifters and place it off camera. And I'll quickly do another one. Centering, opening the bowl part, squeezing underneath it a little bit so I can get under it, keeping it wet and centered, grabbing it with my C-grip, pulling it out to a bowl, making the lip go upwards, because we can always make it go outwards. Adding a little bit of water, starts to get a little drippy on me, a little clingy I mean. Bend out the lip, make a groove, take out the water, left a lot of debris in that one. Should have cleaned up my sponges first. Yeah, let's get that debris out of there. And then make your lip, like so. You got the rest. Cut it off on the bottom. We usually do put a foot on the bottoms of these. They just seem to look better. And also a nice thing, if you are throwing this off on the wheel head, make sure that this part isn't too low, because sometimes people make them too low and they're almost touching the wheel head, or the lip is. And that can get you into trouble with glazing, because you have to glaze no more than we glaze no more than about a ½ inch from the bottom of the pot. So that was a demonstration of that.